Wouldn't it be great if you could create marketing assets in Canva the same way as you might create an image in Midjourney or Leonardo AI? In this video, we're exploring how I'm using ChatGPT and Leonardo AI and Canva together to come up with creative marketing material. I'm Happy Dave, let's get into it. By the end of this video, we'll have created images like this in Leonardo AI or Midjourney and learned how to separate the individual assets either from the images or recreate them from scratch. We'll also look at Canva and how we can start building backgrounds, putting text and menus over the top of it, and then finally putting it all together so that we've got a menu ready for printout. In Chiang Mai, Thailand, there's this cafe called Kozi Kafe. It's a wonderful cafe. It's got great food. It caters to tourists and locals alike. It has great information around the local district of Chiang Mai. Now, this cafe is run by a lady named Apple, and what she has done is she's put together a logo for the Kozi Kafe and she's put together a menu in Thai and English. And what we'd like to do today is work with Apple and see if we can create a new menu for her using Leonardo AI, Canva and ChatGPT. So I've opened up ChatGPT and I've got the two different menus that I want to start with, and what we can do is just ask if we can extract information from the two menus, and what this will do is just read these images and see what sort of information it's going to extract. So we can see from the first menu that we've got an all-day menu. We've got eggs on toast at a certain price with some add-ons. We've got toasted croissants and a toasted sandwich. If we go to the second menu, we've got coffee from the local region, and it's pulled out the prices for the different coffees. It's even given us some groups, coffee options, other drinks and milk. One of the things it didn't get correct is that it thinks that we're looking at small and large coffees, and I know that this is actually iced coffees and hot coffees. So I've just said, can you put all this information into a grouped tabular format? I've altered the change where it should be iced and hot, and we're just putting it into Markdown in a code block, which makes it in a format that's easy to copy into other ChatGPT windows. Now, it would be useful to get some nice marketing names for the groups of food that's going on. So I've basically taken the information that you see here, press copy, given it a bit of a modification, and I've just pasted it back into ChatGPT, and it's come up with some ideas for us based around a prompt that's just talking about giving us some marketing names, and it's come up with extravagant toasts, cozy croissants with a K to match the name of the cafe. It's taken the toasts and just said, we'll call it Toasty Treasures, and the different food groups like a BLT or an omelette are living down under Cozy Creations. Now, it extracted the spreads like jam, Nutella, or peanut butter, and it came up with the add-ons. And I thought, can we come up with better marketing names and a broader range for the spreads that might even fit with the Thai culture? So the spreads that came up are Western inspired, but I thought, could it have a Thai inspired flavors for spreads? And so we've got Thai chili jam, we've got mango and durian. Now, what if you turn these simple names into names that might be more marketing friendly? So I have a simple prompt. Kozi Kafe is a cafe. We want to use some sort of wordplay, and it's just taken all the names that are listed here and reworded them. And we've got Coco Loco Jam, we've got Durian Delight and Mango Tango. So it can just be a easy way to add more poetry to the menu. Now, I would like to turn this menu into instructions for a designer to implement in Canva. Now, in front of us, we've got the menu design for Canva. Now, this is written in a way that you could give it to someone on Fiverr to recreate this for you. And it's made up of the 4 sections of food, along with some marketing names for how they should be called, 2 boxes for the add-ons and the spreads. Additional design considerations such as arrows, the typography, a color scheme, and an important part of this will be how we do the icons and the images on the menu. And at the bottom, we've got the final layout of how this should all be put together. Now, I didn't just go from the menu to this design document. What I wanted in between was some sort of diagram that laid out how it should fit. And I just used a technique that I would use in computer programming, and I created what I called an entity relationship diagram because I knew ChatGPT would understand that. And it's really just put together food types. It's got the 4 groups. We've got the add-ons, and we can see where things are applied. And it's directly from this diagram that I used voice dictation to type a little prompt to go from that diagram to the document we just saw below. So let's create our first proof of concept design, and all we're going to do is take the information that's here and add in a create image to the top of it, and this will allow ChatGPT to use DALL-E 3 to come up with an idea. So here's our first idea. We've got greens and yellows. We've got this nice iconography for the eggs, the toast, etc. But we can run it again and we'll get a second look and feel coming through here. And you can iterate as many times as you want till you find a design that you like. Now, the problem with both of these images is that the layout is incorrect, and so let's do something to fix that. So I wanted to have a definitive list of items and their groups, so I've asked it to recreate a table. I've done a couple of additional prompts just to clean things up as we go, and we end up with a tabular format that has all the different groupings of the 4 food types. We've got the add-ons and the spreads, we've got the prices, and we've got all the individual items plus maybe a little bit of extra details. Now with that table, I've just asked it to write a visual description for an image for a Kozi Kafe menu. I've mentioned that there are 4 main sections. There's 2 sections at the bottom, and what it starts writing for you is a really detailed description of the layout and the content for the menu. Now at this point, I'm not going to use DALL-E 3 to render this because I know it won't do a good job. It's great for the proof of concepts, but getting this individual concepts like the layouts correct will be a bit of an issue. Thinking of the styling and typography will also be an issue. Now I'm just going to copy the visual requirements. We'll head over to Leonardo AI, and from there we'll just go into the prompt creation and paste it all in. I think the one change we might do is make it a vertical format because it is for a menu, and we'll just click on the generate button, and so we've got an image being generated based off whatever idea is in that document, and there we have it. These are really good proof of concepts where we've even got a lot of the layout together. We've got great iconography, we've got good color schemes that we can work with, and the next step will be to see if we can take this over to Canva. Now, based on a bunch of images, I decided to look at this one, and I'll go into why I picked it. Partly I liked the style that was going on here, I liked the color scheme, but most importantly, I thought if I was going to recreate it in Canva, this would be fairly easy to do because I'm not actually a Canva expert. So what we'll do is we'll just right click on it and press copy image. I've come over to Canva and I'm just going to click menu portrait. What will happen is it'll come up with a bunch of templates that people have done, but we can just click on the blank area and paste in our image. Now we could just right click on it and make it set to the background, but because there's some manipulation I want to do, I might just drag it up like this for now. Now the first thing I want to do is just see what we can do with this image. So I've just duplicated it, I've made it a little bit smaller, and we can see from this image that you've got concepts like boxes, and a box is really easy to do in Canva. You just press R and you've now got a rectangle. But the other thing that we've got are some images. Now these images look good, so let's just see if we can click on a particular image and we'll go to Magic Grab. Let's see if we can pull one of these images out. So we can go and click on this, we'll press the grab button, and it looks like we've got an image here, so we can separate them. Now this won't be the best way to, because we won't be able to create a new image in the style we want. So we'll put this aside for now and think through how we can recreate these ourselves. Now I want to see what I can do with the background. So we'll go to the bottom where I've just got a copy of the image, and firstly we'll just click on the background, do the color picker, and what we can do is use the eyedropper and just select one of the colors from the image, and we'll use the biggest color in this case. So now we've got the background that looks like this top half, but how are we going to do with the green and this little yellowy orangey bit? So let's look at that one first. We'll go over to elements, and what I've done is typed in curvy shapes, and we can look through for some sort of shape that might be similar to that. Maybe we'll go with this one, we'll just click it in place. place, and it looks like it would need a little bit of a rotation if we were to use it. So we might just put it there. We'll click on the color picker one more time, eyedropper, and we'll just go and select that. Now we've got a colored shape in a similar location to this. Now to look at this green area, we could maybe just pick a curvy shape like this one. We'll just put this in place. We'll make sure that we've got the color picker pointing to the right color. We come down here and we could just make it big like that. That's probably a good way to start. Or we could maybe combine a couple of images together. So we'll click on this one instead, see what that looks like. Here's another one that we could work with, and maybe we'll just put it there, make it a little bigger. And what we want to do is turn all of this upside down. And what we'll do is we'll get the colors right. Now we can just use this symbol here and we copy these colors over, and then from there select it all, and we could just rotate it around like that. And so now we've got a new sort of shape going on down the bottom. It's not exactly this, but it gives us a nice effect. If we want this one to be on top, we'll just move that up here and we can remove that. And so I've just taken it a little bit further. I've got this background here. We can see that there's various images going on. I can ungroup them, and you can see how I brought different things together to make the background. Now with the background in place, what you can then do is save this as an image and use it in the menu for all your other pages. And that's what I've done right here. We've just got this solid image. We can right click on it, set it as background. Now at this point, it'd be good to add a little bit of text to this. So if we come over to our original ChatGPT, we'll just pick one of the text here and we'll just put in Kozi Creations like that. When we look at the font, it says Bebaz New, which is what I would normally use for the Appy Dave brand, but we'll just put that in place, and we'll also pick Classic Omelette and we'll put in some text and we'll place that one as well. But we'll get rid of the ham, cheese and tomato and just go with Classic Omelette, make it a little bit bigger. Now, what sort of fonts should we use for this? And that question can be answered by saying what font is good for a menu, and what ChatGPT will do is give you a bunch of groupings and ideas that you can work with. Now, when I look through the list, I don't really know what they look like, but I'm going to pick Poppins and we'll pick Open Sans and see what we get. So we'll come over to Kozi Creations and we will change that to Poppins. Better make that a little bit smaller as we go. And I'll just leave it all in uppercase and a little bit smaller. Now, if we come to this one, click on Open Sans, we've got a new look here, and we'll also make this one a little bit smaller. So this could be the headings and this could be the menu items. So we have a heading, we have a menu item. What I do now is put a box around it. So I've just pressed R and we'll just create a box of some sort. I think what we need to do is make sure that the color is transparent. We'll give it a bit of a border. Let's go with 1 and we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll put a little bit of a curve to it. Now at this point, this is a little bit bold for us, so I might just go to the transparency and bring it down so that we've got more of an outline that we can see. But now we've got this Kozi Creations sitting over the top and the line is showing through underneath. Now the easy way to deal with that is just to create another rectangle. We'll just bring it up and into position. We'll go with about there for now, and we could leave it at like that. It looks so. I've clicked the box. We'll just go to the color picker and we will just go and click this, and now we've got Kozi Creations just sitting over the top of the line with a little bit of padding on either side. Now to add the prices, I'm just going to take a copy of that and just move it over to the right. We'll go with about that location, and that keeps the alignment intact. We might just make it bold so it stands out. Now the Leonardo image of this has a little dotted line between the words and the price. It'd be good to do the same thing here. So the best way to do that would probably be just to copy this information one more time. This is keeping the alignment okay for us, and we'll just put in a couple of dots like this, and we'll do that on each side. And then the last thing we can do is just right align it. So we'll click it like this, and it's now over on the right. With that in place, we can just go and click on any of them and press dots until such time it's in the right position. So we'll do it for all three, And so we have this nice dotted line. If you want to change the colors, or in my case, what I probably want to do is just change the transparency so it's a little bit softer on the eyes. Now let's create another menu group. So we can just copy this, we can paste it in, and I'm going to change it to toast. Now with that in place, what we can do is move it into a different location. But if we go over the green or the orange down here, what will happen is that we've got this yellow that doesn't make sense. So what I'd like to do is just move it down enough that the actual word toast is all the way inside the green area. Pick the yellow box and just make sure it's the same and reposition it so that it doesn't overlap the yellow. Now with that idea in place, we can go and do the front of the menu, and we can also do the back of the menu using that sort of technique. Now we have one last area, and it's dealing with these blank areas. Can we put images in them? Because when we look at the original image, we've got these various icons that look really good and they fit with the menu. Let's see if we can recreate them. So to create the prompts for each of these individual graphics, what I've done is I've gone and written a prompt that says, have a look at this prompt that I used in the Leonardo AI. So this is the image that we just created earlier. You can see it here. You can see the different prompt information going on. And what I wanted to do is create a list of prompts just for individual foods. And I've stated the foods. I want egg on toast, ham, cheese, croissant, toast and smashed avocado and pepper, and an omelette with ham and cheese. Now what I've done is taken an original prompt that I did, we've got it all pasted in, and we just send it and see what we get. Now from there, we've got a bunch of prompts that are being created for each individual item. What we can do is just select one of them. We'll head it over to Leonardo, and we're just going to generate that image. While it's happening, we'll do the ham, cheese, croissant, and we'll just see whether it comes up with images in the actual style that we're interested in. Here we have a Kozi Kafe egg on toast. Now we've got a Kozi Kafe croissant. So what we can do with this is maybe just click on it. We'll right click on it and copy the image. We can head over to Canva. We'll just create a new page for now, and we'll just paste the image as it is. And what I like to do is use the background remover. Now that'll come into place. We've got that. And now we're at least separating the background from the ham and cheese croissant, which is useful. At that point, we can maybe just move this down, move this up, and we've got a ham and cheese croissant that we can use that looks pretty much how we need it. So we'll go here and we'll find the ham and cheese croissants. They look to be here. We'll just paste it in and we'll make it a little bit smaller, and suddenly we've got an image. Now if that's positioned incorrectly, we might want to just take it to the bottom and make sure it's underneath, or we might want to make it a little bit smaller like this. Now looking through the images here, I really like this egg on toast. This particular ham and cheese croissant would be good. When we look at smashed avo on toast, I like that one. So what we'll do is we'll head over to our menu and just make sure that those images are put in place. We scroll up and we've got some omelettes that will go on the back of the menu, and then we've got our spreads here. So we've got various stuff around jam and peanut butter. We scroll down the bottom, we can just add that in there, and we'll have a look at where the omelettes are going on. On the back of the menu, I decided to just make it a little bit more transparent, but it could be. Now for the different types of milks and drinks, I've just put them on and I added a 50% transparency, so it's not quite as in your face on the back. Now I was able to send through the graphics through to Apple in Chiang Mai, Thailand. She was able to print them out for her cafe, and we can see here that we've got the extravagant toast, the cozy croissants, and the toasty treasures on the front page. There's also some spreads and add-ons. On the back, she's got the coffees, the teas, and the custom food menus. Now, as you can see, the graphics from the menu look very much like the food that Apple creates, so she was really happy with the final product. And the good thing is we did this just using ChatGPT to figure out the designs and the guidelines for the menu, Leonardo AI both for the graphics themselves and for the layout and design of the menu, and finally Canva just to piece it all together. I'm Appy Dave, and I love putting together business, coding or marketing workflows using ChatGPT and other AI tools. So if that's something you're interested interested in, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.